Is XRP about to make a comeback? Can Solana overtake Robinhood? And why are whales accumulating this one altcoin? This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright guys, happy Friday. So Bitcoin is holding up slightly right now. I don't expect this to hold forever, but I do think we are due for a little bit of a bounce. We have been bleeding off in stocks for what seems like forever now. This is just, multiple weeks of downtrend here. We've got, 24 days we've been going down on the S&P. So I expect some kind of bounce right now, and we are making a slightly higher low on the daily time frame. I don't think this is going to ultimately hold, but you can see here we are starting to make higher lows. And I do think we kind of push maybe over the weekend. We get a little bit of relief in crypto. I do expect us to bounce maybe to at least, up here, which is this lower high here, which would be around $89,000 to $88,000. I expect maybe we come up here and then we continue down lower. Or if we can somehow make another higher low here, we can head up and push back up to around at $92,000. That's another scenario as well. Now, if New York Open is terrible today and we do just break down, then I do expect us to be coming down towards the $72,000 level sooner than later. So if we do kind of push up into this resistance right here and it doesn't hold, then we probably go back down towards this level, maybe do something like this eventually coming down here. This is my kind of thesis for overall right now. I do think we do this over the next month or so. So I just don't know if it's going to happen just yet. But there's a lot of people shorting, so it's very possible we do get a short squeeze and we squeeze back up into these mid to high 80s over the weekend, which would be good for a bounce across the entire market. A lot of things we're going to be covering today are starting to bounce and looking a little bit green before New York Open, so hopefully it stays that way. But yeah, so that's Bitcoin right now, but let's get into it. So the Wolf of Wall Street shares new Ripple XRP gets permission from Dubai Financial Services Authority to start offering crypto services in the Dubai International Finance Center. So Ripple and XRP being able to do business in Dubai is huge. Dubai is big hub for finance nowadays. So that's very big for XRP and Ripple, and we're starting to see a little bit of a comeback in XRP. We also have Jack the Rippler, and this is a little bit of a rumor, but it's also kind of true. So Breaking, the SEC just published a document mentioning the replacement of the SWIFT system with XRP. So this is an actual file here you can see on the SEC.gov, but I believe it's a proposal and kind of an idea, not an official thing just yet, but it's more of a proposal. But let's read what it says. It says, XRP Financial Impact Table. The source of capital, U.S. no-show accounts, $1.5 trillion in USD is freed up. Action to unlock funds, replace SWIFT with XRP-based liquidity. Transaction fee savings is $7.5 billion a year if they shift global payments to XRP. The federal payment cost reductions is $500 billion over 10 years. Implement XRP for IRS and Social Security payments. And capital for Bitcoin reserves is $1.5 trillion directly reinvested in Bitcoin. Now, this is over what seems like a 10-year time span, so this isn't just $1.5 trillion going in directly. It's not a market buy into Bitcoin or into XRP. But this is just kind of a proposal of what could happen if they replace SWIFT with XRP. We all know SWIFT is one of the big, financial institutions that allows, cross-border payments all around the world. Now, I will say XRP is holding up better than expected yesterday or the other day. We were expecting XRP to reject here and come down here, maybe because of this news, maybe because of something else. It is holding up better than expected. So I would like to see over the weekend, if Bitcoin and the rest of the market can hold, I would like to see us come back above here to around $2.42, maybe reclaim this level back down to around $2.30, and then continue higher. So if we can reclaim this level into support, because it's currently resistance, if we can turn this into support over the weekend, that would be very bullish for XRP. Then maybe we can have a bullish week heading into next week. We'll have to see how the rest of the market goes. But overall, on the weekend, if this does hold above this level, it is looking pretty bullish in the short term. I'm not saying long term it's not going to go back down here, but short term it could see higher levels over the weekend. How many of you bought an NFT in the NFT bull market and it's just down bad? Most of these projects are dead, but just haven't gone to zero and had their funeral yet. Or worse, it's like these Frosty's rug pull from 2022. Yet 4 years after their launch in 2021, Loaded Lines is one of the survivors and thrivers. Loaded Lines is the flagship collection of the Cronos ecosystem. It's one of the oldest active NFT collections. And as you can see with this 4-figure floor price, the collection is active and successful even after launching way back in 2021. One of their big secrets is they keep finding ways to add value to Loaded Lines holders. By the way, one of those original Loaded Line holders is our founder, Shash, and he's held since the beginning. The team has an ambitious 5-year roadmap that just came out as well. It includes 3 main areas: 1, the Lion economy; 2, gaming and innovation; and 3, community and growth. First, you can stake the Lion token for massive rewards and real-world perks, and you can earn up to 80% APR when you stake on Crypto.com app's Earn program, and up to 400% APR in the economy. More on that in a second. Another way Loaded Lines is adding value is with this game, Loaded Lines Main City. In Main City, you can build your ideal city, but it's not just all peaceful in Main City, as your opponents can attack you to kick you down the leaderboard. The current integrations allow you to use your own loaded line within the game to advance your position. You can also use NFTs from the Cyber Cubs or Dark Line collections, and these collections are from the Loaded Lines team as well. You can already see their plan in place, more relevant collections, and new innovative features to add value to their holders. For example, in gaming, the team will be adding AI to make Main City an even better experience, while creating more uniqueness for each Loaded Lion. A mobile version of the game is coming soon to make access for more people easier than ever. Plus, you have competitive pools with large prizes in their upcoming competitive season, and that's just a sneak peek into their bigger, exciting plan. But here's more about the Lion economy. The Lion token launch happened on March 3rd, and they've just expanded to Solana on March 6th, and it's the center of the Lion economy. It's just one more way to add value to what's already a valuable collection. With the Lion token, 50% is marked for the community, and this is an excellent number and what we would expect from a community-minded project like Loaded Lions. The token allows you to stake and earn big ROI, as I mentioned before, integrate more bonuses into the Main City game, the Crypto.com app, and even Crypto.com's Visa card, as well as governance and more. And now the token is live on Arbitrum as well. Plus, deposits and withdrawals to Arbitrum are now enabled on the Crypto.com app. So check out the Lion token today. You can buy it on Crypto.com's app, Crypto.com Exchange, VVS Finance, Uniswap, and Radium. Then we have CryptoRS saying Alameda Research unlocked $23 million in SOL to 38 new addresses. These addresses combined hold nearly $170 million in Solana tokens. FTX reimbursement process has also begun. The firms unlocked Solana worth $1.5 billion. So this isn't, I mean, it's good for FTX repayments. It's not great for Solana and Solana's price necessarily. Although I do think Solana will have a better rest of the year, maybe Q3, Q4. I do think we have to go down in the short term. But I will say real quick, I saw this article from Solana Floor, which is actually pretty interesting. So famed for its smooth onboarding and simplistic user experience, Solana is challenging one more of TradFi's most popular retail trading platforms, Robinhood. Over the first 2 months of 2025, Solana DeFi has witnessed significantly more trading volume than Robinhood, suggesting traders are eager to make the move on chain. So if we think about Robinhood, it's a very user-friendly platform. It's more retail-oriented. They kind of take out the fees, but in the back end, they have the order flow. So the fees aren't necessarily free. They just get worse execution. So it's kind of like a retail-friendly thing. They have like the confetti pop-up. It's a really nice user experience on Robinhood. But then you can kind of compare it to people who are maybe trading Solana meme coins. It's the same kind of retail user necessarily who would be using Robinhood and maybe also trading on chain with Solana. So they're kind of comparing the two. So following a record-breaking start to 2025, Solana's spot DeFi sector has dominated Robinhood in both terms of equity and crypto asset notional volume. According to Robinhood's monthly metrics report, the trading platform was around $322.8 billion in notional volume across equity and crypto markets in the first 2 months of 2025. Meanwhile, DeFi Llama data suggests that Solana's on-chain DEX volume recorded $364 billion during the same period. This meteoric increase in volume was largely driven by U.S. President Donald Trump's polarizing meme coin launch, which is widely considered to be the industry's largest ever DeFi liquidity event. Additionally, on-chain activity implies that more traders are using Solana than legacy platforms like Robinhood. Robinhood's report suggests that the platform currently supports 25.6 million funded accounts. In Q3 2024, the platform reported having 11 million monthly active users. Blockworks data suggests that Solana's activity peak was in January, which saw 55.8 million unique existing accounts, not new wallets, interact with the chain. And over a 7-day period, over 15.6 million accounts made less than 5 transactions per day, which could be considered organic activity. So even at the lower end, on a 7-day period, 15.6 million accounts compared to around 11 million monthly active users for Robinhood is the comparison. So Solana, I do think, will have its comeback at some point. I do think it is very much oversold. You can probably see that in the RSI as well. So overall, Solana, I do think it could catch a bid over the weekend as well, kind of like XRP and Bitcoin. If we have a bullish weekend, we are kind of holding here around this very long-term support level around $120 to $125. We're starting to make that a little bit of a lower high here. Whether that holds, I'm not sure. It's just the daily chart, but I do expect us to maybe have a little bit of a pump. Maybe it comes back to $138, and then we come back down here and then head down towards this level, which I ultimately do think is going to get tagged. If Bitcoin is going down to $72,000, I'm more and more convinced now that Solana, you will be able to catch below $100, unfortunately, or fortunately if you want to pick up a lot of Solana. So I do think at some point Solana will, head down here. It is one of the weaker major altcoins. Just so much selling pressure, so much going on. On-chain activity hasn't been the best in terms of in the trenches. So I do think at some point Solana probably comes down to, two figures again, whether it's this, support here at $83 or if it's somewhere just under $100. I do think we're going to get two-figure Solana before we come back. But it doesn't mean we won't have a little bit of a bounce first, where over the weekend we could see maybe $138 over the weekend. Then moving on, we have Hyperliquid. The market is drowning in blood, but Hyperliquid fundamentals remain unshaken. Volumes are steady, revenue stays high, and continues absorbing more tokens daily. The best strategy, no leverage, no unnecessary risks, just accumulate, stake, and wait. Trying to catch a falling knife with a margin, that's a losing game long term. The only way to win, accumulate and hodl. After every storm, the sun shines again. So Hyperliquid has had a little bit more of a sell-off than the rest of crypto, it seems, but it is kind of up more on the day. It's up about 12.5% on the day. It went down to just around $12.20 and currently just under $14. I will say though, the chart I think has a little bit more history somewhere else, maybe on Hyperliquid, but it's hard to find a long, a very long chart. So here we have on the KuCoin chart, it starts around $9.95. And so this is the point at which it kind of got listed on KuCoin, which is one of the earlier charts. Now, I will say I do think we do come down here at some point and we go a little bit lower than this initial point. That does happen a lot of times with newly listed coins. But Hyperliquid was one of the coins where at first it only went up. So the fact that it is fully retracing this, it was meant to happen. But I do think a lot of people are caught and surprised. So we'll have to see if there is more selling once we get down to this level, because whales might start to sell if they think they fully round trip their entire gains. So we're going to have to see there. We are coming into a little bit of resistance here. This is, resistance from early December. And so this kind of looks like an underside retest to me, where I do think we'll kind of pump into this, maybe all the way up to around $14, $15. But then I do think we come down here towards, a single digit Hyperliquid again at some point, especially if Bitcoin is going to go down. But it doesn't mean that we can't do, something like this over the weekend where we come down like that. But Hyperliquid is one that I do think is good long term. I just think there's so many whales holding this. So many people have unrealized gains on their, their airdrop that they got from Hyperliquid. And I do think it's a really good DEX and it's amazing. But I do think, it has to have time to cool off. It went up only for, about a month. Everyone was talking about Hyperliquid. Now it's cooled off. It's gone sideways. I do think we need some accumulation down here in the high single digits before heading back up towards this $30 level and new all-time highs later on. So that is Hyperliquid. Then we have Sentiment saying Chainlink has achieved a mild rebound ahead of other altcoins following a market-wide plummet that saw the coin fall to $13.18 on Tuesday. The top cap coin then bounced all the way to $15.25, now seeing abnormally high volume and volatility. We recommend paying attention to the top 5 Link wallet holdings, which have stayed on their growth trajectory and now hold a combined 18.15% of the coin's entire supply, worth $2.93 billion. So whales continue to accumulate Link. Sentiment also shares here are crypto's top 10 DeFi projects by development. Directional indicators represent each project's ranking position since last month. So we can see Chainlink has pretty much stayed here at number one in top DeFi projects by development. And we also have Chainlink and the oracles on DeFi Llama. Chainlink is total value secured at $29.55 billion. So we can see it's way ahead of the second at Python, even on a Solana. So doing a lot bigger numbers. Everything is going through Chainlink on chain. So I think Chainlink is going to have one of those, miraculous rebounds at some point. We are kind of holding here above this support at, 1320-ish. So this is a high time frame level of support. It actually does look pretty good here to me. Unfortunately, I think, Bitcoin goes lower, so I'm not sure where that leaves Chainlink. But overall, Chainlink looks really good right now. I do expect us to have some kind of bounce over the weekend, maybe come back up here to around $15, and then we head back down and maybe do something like this over time. I do think that's a good high time frame level to accumulate Chainlink before the next leg higher, which I do think will happen, especially since it's one of the bigger projects tied to Trump and World Wide Finance as well. But yeah, that is the video for today, guys. We are holding pretty strong actually today. This is the 3-day chart. Even on the daily chart, we're looking pretty good right now. As long as New York Open doesn't continue to dump, I do think we have a bit of a weekend relief after this nonstop dumping. So do with that what you may. If you're trading coins over the weekend, it might see a little bit of green. Maybe time to go long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on Monday.